All right. So as I've said, the attempts I'm making tonight is to show us what instructional designers do, then um, uh, show us why it is a good fit, especially for teachers and professionals alike. So I welcome once again. The agenda is very brief to tell us instructional design, the definition, what instructional designers do, even down to their roles in different organizations um, and settings alike. Then also career-wise, the opportunities that we have there, and why instructional design is a good choice as a career path. And for for those that have been sending me questions, I noticed that we have some questions that are like, that's also one of the reasons why we are having this session so that I can give an answer to our general questions. So a large number of people that are transitioning into instructional design are teachers. And I need to say that also when I send out my flyers, one of the first thing on my target audience are teachers. And there is a reason for that. Um, I'll be saying that in a minute, but before then, my name is Tai Aransiola. I am an educational technologist. I graduated as an educational technologist, but over the last 3 years, I've tailored my passion down to instructional design. That's a story on its own, but I'm happy that I found this amazing profession. So one of the things I noticed in the last 2 years is that people are reaching out to get information about instructional design. And I've been able to help, quite a number of persons transition into this amazing field. And that's just the baseline why I feel I should start looking at helping more people, transition into this field, especially teachers. And why teachers? Why am I saying teachers? I'm from a very wonderful part of the world, of the globe. I'm from Nigeria, and I've noticed that the teaching profession, as amazing as it is, and I would like to say I'm also a teacher. I'm an educationist. I started my career as a teacher as well. It's a super amazing field, but we have our government who are not. Uh, is it governments, even private institutions alike? They are not giving teachers, the best that they deserve. I'll be showing us statistics very soon, but that is just one of the major reasons why I'm always looking at teachers transitioning into instructional design. And it's same, it's not just for my country here, it's also a global issue on how teachers are being treated. But instructional design is just like a leverage, for teachers to explore their teaching profession, but at a higher scale. It gives them more liberty, to explore their creativity, to have their career at their own ends, not just uh, chained to one system that is not giving them or rewarding them, for their efforts. So instructional design also is not far-fetched from teaching. I'll be telling us the official, some of these official terms, but I understand that some of us don't have an idea. Some of us don't have an idea of what an instructional design or instructional designer is. So I will be moving just back and forth to the official discussions, like the terminologies that we use, but I will also try and say these things in the very in a very simple terms. So you allow that. Now, I said I want to show some statistics. In Nigeria, teachers are being paid, ranging from 45,000 naira to, to to 50,000 naira as basic salary. Some teachers actually are being paid less than this. It's a very, very disheartening situation. And if you want to see that as in terms of the annual pay, I also did this statistics is I will share this document so that we can have access to all the statistics and the sources that they are from. And so matching or comparing that to USD, an annual pay for teachers in Nigeria are within 1,000, that is $1,170, down to $1,460. And that is very, very, I mean, annual, like yearly pay, for some teachers. And this is one of the major reasons why I am looking out to teachers to transition into the field. As I've said, there are other career people that are transitioning into the field. I have the likes of even bankers. I remember I did a work for a renowned bank in Nigeria, and of course, because my name was on it, one of the staff reached out to me that I wanted to mentor me in this field. Even down to medical practitioners alike. People are transitioning into a more rewarding career, and personally, instructional design is a rewarding career because it gives you, leverage to work not just locally within your locality. You can work globally, you can interact with global clients. So your reach is, as it were, endless. So far you can provide value, and what organizations are looking for is someone that can actually do what he or she is saying I can do. So we should get there. This statistics is for Nigerian teachers, and I also try to get statistics for South Africans and Indians. So now, that being said, instructional design is a systematic. This the like I mentioned, I'll be giving us some official discussions. Then I'll be explaining some of these things in a simple way so that we can have an idea. So instructional design is a systematic process of creating, developing, and delivering educational experiences. I just notice my highlights, educational experiences that facilitate effective learning. It involves the thoughtful design of learning materials and activities to achieve specific educational goals. So the scope of instructional design extends across various domains, including formal education, corporate training, and online learning. I'll be touching down on that also, the various sectors that instructional design can function in. Instructional designers are needed in virtually anywhere training is required. Anywhere training is create, and that's one reason why I also always encourage teachers to look into not actually teaching in terms of what we have right now, like in the teaching in the school, but it's not different, it's not far from it. So it is easier for teachers to transition because of course they have the background, educational background, the theories of learning and all that. So it is more easier for them to transition than any other corporate person, let's say a banker or so. Instructional design creates an environment for learning to take place. I think we all should be at home with this simple definition. So I said again, instructional designers are needed anywhere training, is anywhere training. is taking place or anywhere training is needed, that is where you find instructional design or instructional designers. And right now, training is needed virtually in the corporate setting and also in the academics. Corporate settings are the workspace. Every organization, every institution are looking into training, and why the whole work operation is changing. Technology is evolving, operating, strategies are changing, and policies are changing. Then there must be someone, that will train the staffs, so that they can effectively do the work they are meant to do. So right now, even the staffs that are working, that have been there for years, they need another new set of information. And it is only instructional designers that can pass these informations across successfully. That's why I say systematic, then education and experience, thoughtful design. That's where the creativity comes out. As a teacher, you might be limited to some specific way, you have to do or you have to go about things. But instructional design unfolds your creativity. How can I make these learning materials? How can I make it, how can I communicate this information to the target audience? So it's just a super amazing field. Let me just go ahead. So the role of an instructional designer in any organization uh, is okay. I have some roles here. I have the key responsibilities, then I have the roles. So the some of the key responsibilities are the needs analysis, which will be discussed in details. If you don't understand some of these terms, don't worry. And one of the things I see someone ask me a question, like, okay, instructional design is like, okay, I think someone said or was asking the adverts for the training program that I'm hosting is for maybe teachers that want to transition into a tech, a tech field. But instructional design is is not, what I sense in what the person asked was that, okay, is it that I'll be coding like, all the CSS, C++ and all and the likes of that. But instructional design is not like that. You are not going to be sitting behind your laptop for 10 hours, coding or what have you. But instructional design is very, very, very uh uh um what's the word now? Is very, very interesting and fun. Let me use the word fun because uh, we are we are using different principles, different theories, different, and you are unlocking your creativity to ensure that an information is passed across. So it puts you in the place where you are like the architect of the whole learning process. So you feel like, you have this ability to, to make suggestions, to, to, to go through different processes, different principles, different resources, and just bring something amazing. And one thing I want to say is every project, either within an organization or as a contract or as a freelance work, every project is like an adventure in instructional design. You just want to see, you just want to see the next project. You just want to be involved in the next project. You just want to interact, with the clients, with the materials and see how you can bring something beautiful out of it again. More like probably someone that bakes cake, and you get different orders. Okay, bake one, that has football, bake one that has, maybe I'm a doctor, the experience, even personally as an instructional design or designer, is amazing. So please don't have the mind that, oh, is it tech? Is it tech? Or, please, it's not the hard skill core tech thing. It's an amazing education field. Now, the key responsibilities are listed here. I'm sure you've checked them. Project management, evaluation and assessment, technology integration, content creation, instructional design and development. That talks about the strategies we use to craft our learning processes, the theories involved, the principles involved, and all that. Then in the organization, we help employee, we enhance employees' performance. So let's say in an organization, you've carried out an analysis and there is a gap in the performance. They call it performance gap. So instructional designers help to enhance employees' performance. They kind of close the gap. Let me say that in a more simple terms. I am aware that I have some audiences that cut across different sectors and different levels. So performance gap are, okay, every employee has an activity to carry out or a duty to carry out. That's performance. So if an employee is failing to deliver, the instructional designer within that organizations carry out what we call analysis to see why some specific tasks, are not meeting up to standard. From that analysis, they identify different gaps, performance or learning gaps. Please, let's remember to mute ourselves. So those gaps is what we now make up the goal. You remember in the definition, I said educational goals. So those gaps are what we now said are this is the educational goal for this training solution. It is that educational goal we put down, to become curriculum. Then from there, we design and develop a learning environment, to deliver the materials that we've created, to solve. Yes, it's a problem, to solve a problem, but now to reach a goal. First, it started with a problem, now we turn the problem into a goal, an educational goal. Then we craft objectives, we craft, learning paths, to meet that goal and eventually to solve the problem. So it's just what I've said now is, to me, it's very interesting because at the end of the day, you are happy that you are able to solve an organization's problem. You can look back and say, okay, this issue was solved because of my learning solution, because of what I designed for this organization. And that alone is a lot of joy. Not to talk of the reward that comes with instructional design. For some of us, I believe we've checked probably the remuneration that comes with instructional design in terms of the pay, and the salary and the likes. It's a rewarding profession. Probably I could have just give you a statistics about that. It's a rewarding profession. As I've said, it's a profession that will not limit you to a geographical location. You can work anywhere. Personally, I work remotely. I started my career working remotely, and it has been like that for the last, since 2020, over 3 years now. So your office is where your laptop or your tools are. That's just it. And this is also one of the reasons why um, teachers are also transitioning. It gives you liberty on your time. It's so flexible. You have flexibility of time. You have you can determine, how to structure your time, to attend to your work and also to attend to other things, families and the likes. So I'll just move ahead. All right, if you have questions, just drop them in the chat. I will appreciate that. So now I've mentioned this, I'll just go over it again. The examples of ID, where IDs can function. In the corporate settings, IDs are responsible for staff onboarding, anything training in the corporate settings, IDs are responsible for that. Staff onboarding, safety and compliance training programs, just the list goes on. The list goes on. Anything training within an organization, instructional designers are responsible for that. Then e-learning, we have the likes of university online courses and professional development courses. I'm sure some of us have taken some courses online before. The people that crafted that course, they have ID background. They understand the principles of design, instructional design, the theories, and they understand the models of instructional design. That's why they're able to craft an engaging course for you. So yeah, the K-12 education program also. Now, the instructional design is very important in an organization. And that is why, for me, I always say instructional design is here to stay because of the value that we bring to the world of work. Instructional design brings a lot of value to the world of work, either at the corporate level or at the academic level, or for people who are looking for professional development trainings and courses. So we enhance learning outcome. I've mentioned that in the explanation I just gave. Instructional designers they ensure, learning takes place. They ensure learning takes place. And I said something just now that, one of the things that gives instructional design, one of our value proposition is that we're able to solve organizational problems. We're able to bridge, and bridge performance gap or knowledge gaps. We're able to, and some of these things as a way of, they have impacts on ROI, on return of investment of some organizations. Yeah, for example, performance gap, let's say within a production company, if the staffs are lacking maybe some new set of skills on how to produce a particular product, they may be producing less than they can produce if they acquire those new set of skills. So bridging that gap, we mean that they are producing more, in less time, which we also mean that the company is getting more pay or more return on their investment. So that's where we give ourselves some thumbs up that we're able to solve these organizations' problems. We're able to improve performance. So every organization needs, such people to be in their company. So there is this growing need for instructional designers in every organization. Even organizations that doesn't have them, how to outsource, their training programs or consult with an instructional designer who is experienced to come and check their staffs, how they work, to determine if there are knowledge gaps, skill gap, that needs to be bridged. So these are the importance of instructional design in different organizations. I've said enhanced learning outcomes, addresses diverse learning needs, improves engagement. So we use different techniques to improve engagement. Engagement is key. Engagement is very key, for online learning. I'm sure some of us have taken some courses that we really did not finish it, and what is lacking is the engagement, So instructional designers are coming with different creativity to ensure that, learner stays on the course to the end of that course. And some of the ways they are doing that is, using different learning strategies. For example, they can include games in their training solution just to ensure that they get more engagement on that course and in turn pass the information that needs to be passed across to, the learners or the audience. And, at the end of that, meet the overall goal that has been set for that training solution. So we facilitate consistent and standardized learning, support measurable outcomes. Measurable outcomes is not just limited to the assessment that is given at the end of the test. Measurable outcomes also goes down to, like I mentioned, the original reason why that learning solution is being crafted, or designed. So we measure if what we are trying to bridge, the skill gap, the knowledge gap, at the end of the day was solved, if that problem was solved in the organization. So most times when you're in an organization, especially right now, we have a fast-paced organization, an agile workspace, where many things are going on and people need to be trained along the line as they work. The difference between, let's say, K-12 and, okay, here in Nigeria, the secondary level of education and then the corporate settings is that our audiences are different. At the secondary level of K-12, you have people who are committed to going to school, following a particular curriculum, and they know that this is what we have to do. But at the corporate settings, you have people who are working and they need to keep working. But at the same time, they need to learn, they need to upskill so that what they are doing in that organization, will be done effectively and better. So at the corporate settings, these people are also adults. So one of the principles that we also get to know is adult learning principles. There are ways adults learn. There are strategies you put in place so that adults will be able to follow through, the learning solutions that you are designing for them. So this makes instructional design a very fun field. I'm sorry for using the word fun. I'm just trying to break the myth that, okay, it is a tech field that, you have to be tech savvy, before you do instructional design. Not really. Instructional design and e-learning development, that's two things, but you can merge it as one. Instructional design deals with analysis, down to curriculum development, down to the strategy, using the theories and models to craft a strategy for the learning solution. E-learning development, that's where we have the tools, where you package what you've designed. That's where it's on those tools you package, the design, the strategies that you've put in place. And instructional design ends around that storyboarding before you now go into development. All this will be discussed. There are people that are focused just on instructional design. They are not involved with the tools. And there are people that are focused just on the tools. They are just developers. And developers here is not, as I've said, C++, or coding and the likes. The developers here are people that package, the learning, the whole learning solution together. And we have different tools that we use to do that. So I will attend to all the questions at the end. I am almost done. So the career opportunities, I've mentioned some of these things. The career opportunities are corporate training and development, and we have that a lot. And the need, as I've said, the demand keep on increasing. So far, there's an organization, so far they have a staff, even if it is 5 staffs, they need to be trained, for them to effectively carry out their duties in this 21st century. So corporate training and development is a major aspect where instructional designers are functioning. Then we have the e-learning development, we have the higher education, K-12 education, healthcare, government and non-profits, then freelancing, and consulting, which is also a very, very good, good platform for instructional designers. Now, the skills required. uh, I've mentioned that teachers are familiar with some of the educational policies, theories that we use in instructional design, like the behaviorism theories, the Bloom taxonomy. I'm sure some of the teachers are going to be saying, yes, yes, yes. The Bloom taxonomy, and some other theories that we use in instructional design. These theories helps to, they inform how you creatively design, the learning solution. They informs how you strategize, the learning paths for different audiences. Then we have the technical proficiency. Then we also have project management, analytic skills, and creativity. These are some of the things that organizations uh, will look out for when you are applying to their company or to their firm. So now, what design is training and development, daily demand for training and development. Organizations are coming up with different softwares, to ensure that their work and the workflow goes seamless, to ensure that they have they are just bringing new technologies, new tools, new policies, and people needs to train, they need people to train their staffs. That is where instructional designers comes in. We are there, to ensure that the staff, are up to date on the policies, on the new technologies that they need to be aware of, on the new set of skills that they need to add. Right now, a lot of businesses are looking at AI, to optimize their operations and all that. And the people that are there before, they are not. Some of them needs to be trained on how to use these AI tools to, to optimize their operations and also instructional designers are responsible for those training. So I can't, there are different scenarios, there are different examples, of the demand, of instructional design in the workplace. So diverse careers opportunities, these are some of the reasons why you should look at instructional design. The impactful work, as I've said, it's so amazing to see that what you design is solving a real world problem, an organization problem, and or it's helping people to grow in their career. Those that's impact, and that satisfies you. And not to mention, the reward that comes with it. So, the professional flexibility, I've mentioned that, and the creativity, professional career growth, then work-life balance. I've also touched down on that. So then competitive salary. All right. Now, down to the training solution. As I've said, my first target was and is still teachers, and also African teachers. I just showed us the statistics uh, um, of the monthly and annual salary of Nigerian teachers, South African and Indian. I will share this document so that we can still have access to the information. You know, it's very disheartening that teachers are not being rewarded for their efforts. I love the teaching profession, I started my career, teaching teachers how to, facilitate, the learning process more effectively using technological tools back in 2018, 2019. Then I moved into instructional design when I met my mentor, Connie Malama, who is she's an expert in instructional design with over 20 years of experience. She also has a community of instructional designers in the US. Meeting her helped me to see, this the benefits of instructional design, and accessing training materials gave me the leverage, to start. I started working like, let's say, 3 months after meeting with her, and this is something I also want to bring down as an opportunity to everyone that, especially teachers. I'm sorry for saying especially. I think it's because my mom was a teacher. I also have a education background, and my first salary was more than what. Sorry, can you mute yourself? Thank you. So my first salary, I remember then back in 2020, was more than what the government was paying her on a monthly basis, and she was on level 15. So I was that was sorry, please mute yourself. Okay, so for me, that's not good enough for a level 15 teacher, and then my own first take on instructional design, or on career wise, actually, the pay was more than what she was getting. And right now, from the statistics I showed you, teachers, are not getting up to, some teachers are not getting up to $1,500 per annum, not per month. So that is my first, that's the gap I really want to bridge. I want teachers to be aware of this field, and professionals in other careers also. This is a field, that gives you flexibility, and helps you to unlock your creativity. So these are the facilitators for this 6-week training program. Myself with my mentor, then Olawale Koledafe is a doctor of educational technology, is also an expert with about over 10 years experience. So he will be facilitating the training program together with myself, and Oludoyin. She is an expert when it comes to development. So together we want to, yes, I will attend to the questions and any other concerns after I'm almost done with this. The next slide will be for that. So what was I saying? Yeah, these are the facilitators of the 6-week training program. And the program is going to start by July 30 for those that are just getting to know about the training program. And there are a lot of things that we've packaged for this program. I know some people are asking for the price. The price will be the price. If you go to the link here, the prices is there. Is 100,000 naira, which is it's the best price you can see out there. I can say that again and again and again and again. And the reason why the price is this low is because, like I've mentioned, my art goes to the teachers. Some teachers right now, the labor force or labor this thing of Nigeria is pushing for a minimum wage. And I'm not sure if that minimum wage is up to $65 per month or even $50. It's very, very disheartening, So my heart goes to the teachers, and that's why also I was able to give the teachers, so far I know you're a teacher, the opportunity to pay in 2 installments. So these conversations I have with the teachers that are showing interest in the field. Then the other thing I want to mention is the reason why we are not admitting so many people is because I'm not just looking at having a training, then at the end of the day, you just get a certificate and just go. The training also is together with a mentorship program where I will discuss your career goal in instructional design. I've started that with some people that are showing interest. I have people that are already showing interest. Some already are in corporate training, but they need more knowledge and more knowledge on this particular aspect of instructional design and e-learning development. Probably they're into corporate training, physical trainings, and all that. So we discuss your career goal, and how, and we'll be there with you, or I will be there with you, till you are settled. That is my own, that's my goal for the training. I want to stay a community of instructional designers. Of course, it's for some reasons, my flyer is on LinkedIn. So I have people from across the globe reaching out to participate in the training, but still a large percentage of my focus is on is on African participants. So I want to ensure that everybody that comes for the training, receive receive full detail of what they need to know as an instructional design and e-learning development, much more, help them, be with them till they start their profession, maybe land a job, a contract, or what have you. So that's why we can't admit so many people. We can't admit so many people because time, so the facilitators are very busy. If you are instructional designers, you know that there are a lot of projects that keeps coming in, but they are able to craft out this time, to stay with everyone that will be involved in this training, so in this training program. And then you just see how it goes from there. So that's all. That's all. I will be answering our questions now. So let me open the chat. Okay. If someone raise up his or her hand, I will get to you very soon. I hope you are still raising your hand. Okay, who is that? Okay, the name here is meeting, but I will get to you. You will get to speak very soon. So the first person here is saying, tell us the pay range, please. Freelance pay range. Okay, so I can actually share, because I want the meeting to be very brief. Okay, because those that are not, I want them to be able to access the recording, maybe 45 minutes recording or so. The pay range for freelance, it differs across different countries, but I can say, because I work, you have access to work at the global space. So I might just be telling you the global pay range, for an hour training solution, moving down the full scope from analysis to deployment, evaluation, and our training solutions could cost, from 15, 15,000 to $20,000, and this is still negotiable depending on your client, depending on your experience, and depending also on for example, some clients or some organizations have their voice actors. They have different tools they use to optimize the whole learning process. Probably they've invested, in some tools already. So that may reduce the cost, for the training solution. This is for freelancers now. That may reduce the cost. Some have invested in voiceovers, some have invested in tools, some have invested in learning management systems. So you may not be budgeting for those parts of the training solution. But for a full scope, when I say a full scope, the organization is not doing anything down to the delivery platforms. You are the one that is setting everything up. It ranges from 15,000 to 20,000. So that's will be my answer to that. Then thanks so much. Okay. Do we need the knowledge of data analysis? All right. So someone is asking if you need the knowledge of data analysis. Of course, it's an advantage. I mentioned something about needs analysis. The first thing an instructional designer should know is how to go about analysis. We have a lot of analysis to do before we can actually say this is a problem that the organization is facing. For example, we have needs analysis, we have content analysis if the organizations have some training materials already, we have tax analysis, We have root cause analysis, problem analysis. All these analyses are wonderful things to that you will eventually love to do. Analysis is very interesting. So the knowledge of data analysis is also an advantage here. So you can just be an instructional designer without being yes, you can be an instructional designer without being an e-learning developer. Absolutely. But I will advise, I have people that are just e-learning developers alone, but when it comes to, let's say, freelance, you need to be able to convince your clients that you actually know, the process. You need to be able to convince your clients. So it is better to be both an instructional designer and e-learning developer. As an e-learning developer, they can just throw a storyboard to you. Please convert this, in articulate 360 and make it just engaging and all that. But as an instructional designer, you get more, because you can tell them this, and this, will help your training to be more impactful. Then if you are starting from analysis, you can also have the opportunity to draft a budget, that will get you more payments from whatever projects you are working on. So can we ask questions on audio? Yeah. Yes, I will permit you to do that. So you mean 15 to 20K dollars per? Yes. Does instructional design training contain a systematic approach like other course lengths on Coursera? Instructional design contain a systematic approach like other course lengths on Coursera and other training platforms. One of the things I mentioned, I said corporate learning, there's e-learning. What you have on Coursera and other training platforms are e-learning. They are e-learning, is under e-learning, that's online learning, so it's also part of what's instructional design. When you get to, as a freelancer, when you're on Upwork, one of the things that you see more is a need for people or instructional designers to design, an online course. Probably there is an expert, on project management. He or she wants to put a training out there. They might look for an instructional designers who can help them to package, maybe from the curriculum, or if they have a content before, revamp the content and make it into a video-based learning. Some of these platforms are video-based, and that also comes with a good pay. There's this project I did recently, some a video-based course, and it's very rewarding. Depending on, what the client's requirement is, you can do a video-based course from $3,500 to $5,000, Also depending on the length, the hour, of the course you are designing or developing for the client. So let me please, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. The name here is Meeting. So I'm sorry if that's not your name. Please, you can go ahead to unmute yourself. Then I will say one more thing before. You can go ahead and, good evening.
Thank you, sir. I want to ask some questions, not one question, please.
Okay, some questions. All right, you can go ahead.
Yes, but I'll be brief soon. I want to ask, me, I'm not very new to the digital world, though I'm not an instructional designer. I'm an education student. I'm still in school, so
Okay.
yeah, but I just feel like I've made my research. I was looking for jobs that are related to education field. So I don't really know much about this instructional design. It was due to my research. I'm a final year student and I don't want a situation where I just finished school, no job. And so I was just looking for something that is related to the education lane. I have NC already and I'm doing my first degree in education. That was when I stumbled upon instructional design. And
Okay.
almost on YouTube that I'm trying to learn, I saw that there is no resource from a black person. It's just mostly the white, and it's not very easy to digest, especially their language, the way they communicate is not always very so. I already noticed I'm already versatile with the digital world. I'm a virtual assistant already.
Oh,
So and recently is that most job opening now, even when they say it's entry level jobs, they ask for internship, like they no, they ask for experience. So after this particular training, can you do us the favor of like granting us an internship opportunity, even if it is to just attach us to someone, an instructional designer who already in the field, so that we can spend like a month or 2 months experience to our hand. So if or maybe if we can even shadow someone that is already on the field so that we can get a little bit of experience, even if it is a month or 2 months, because these people are already working on projects. If you work with us, like an eyes opener your CV for job so that you can be ahead of other people, other applicants. Okay, so that's like my first question. Then my second question is, are you getting it, sir?
yes. Is it okay
Hello?
if I answer? Yeah, I'm with you. Is it okay if I answer the first question?
Okay,
Then,
can I? Oh, all right, please go ahead, please. I will mute now.
okay, all right,
Then,
thank you.
so please, when you answer this one, then I'll ask, please, just one more question after this.
Okay, one more question. You can go ahead. I'll just answer everything together because of that.
All
Yeah,
right.
you can go
So,
ahead, please.
sorry, my second question is now I discovered that the e-learning aspect of it, that's where the tech stuff comes in, like where you make use of some tech tools like the Articulate 360 and the rest. So, and me, I'm not a tech person. I used to find that anything that has to do with using some tech, like editing, video stuff, like video editing, graphics, and the rest, is not something I'm very good at. So, is there a way that we can learn it? Then we can learn the theory, maybe the theories about some tech part of it. Maybe if you get a job, there are people that can help you with the tech aspect of the job. Then you can now focus um, on the theories and the editing. Or are you just going to help us break it down in a way that will, no matter how difficult it is, we understand? I'm just saying this because I'm not a very good tech person. Then I know this one is like an appeal. Whether you can help us with resume, how to prepare our resume in the course of this training, our resume, our CV, cover letters when applying for jobs and all that. So that it can be, the aim of all this thing is that we should be able to get a job at the end of the training. So if there's a way you can like incorporate this into the training so that it will just be like a full package. We don't have to come back to, you or maybe now we've gotten all the skills that we need because
All right, okay. Thank you. I think you asked um I think you asked a very good question. Like you just helped me to see some other things I wanted to mention but was omitted. So thank you for that. Thank you for that question. Uh, the first thing you talked about was I love the fact that you said you've done some research on the on instructional design, coupled with the fact that you are a final year student, in your school. You know, the first one of the first set of persons, I think that was 2022, that I helped transition to instructional design was also a final year student, of, if not LASU, it would be Unilag, that is University of Lagos, an educationist. I think she was in adult and primary education. And the guidance that was provided helped her to get a job, even while she was still a student. And this is something I always want to say, that right now, the world of work, it's not only about your certificate, it's about what you can do, and if there's a proof that you can actually do, what you say you can do. So she got a job. When she got the job, we conversed again. She went back to renegotiate. They increased the pay, and she was with them for 3 months before she left for Money Point. I'm sure we all know Money Point is like the second largest financial this thing in Africa. She's presently with Money Point now. So that you are in school is not a limitation. And also, I think you were saying that to ask a question if there will be an opportunity for an internship program. Yes, that's part of what I'm really working at. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
I hear you.
Okay, all right. So that is part of what I'm personally looking at. That's when I said we can't have, you know, that's why we have some limits to the number of people we can take, so that we can look at. Some of us are already working. I've interacted with a number, just one or two, who have gotten a job, and they need to be well trained so that they can function well as instructional designers. Others are just starting out, probably transitioning from teaching job to instructional design or any profession that they have. We are looking at, you know, internship positions where we can work on real projects, real workspace projects. It may not be paid internship. Some may be paid internship, but it may not be paid internship, but it will help you to gather experience, that can be on your CV and your portfolio. One of the things that we also look at is, how to set a portfolio, that can be shown out there as, to that you can project to your potential employer that this is what I've done, this is what I can do, then couple with the experience you gather within, let's say, 3 months, with whatever company you are intern, with. So that's part of the plan. So thank you for bringing that up. That's part of the plan. That's part of what uh, we are looking at. Then the other question you ask is about the technical, the tools, for people that are not really at all, a tech person. Probably you are finding it difficult, or it's going to be difficult for you to understand all this video editing, or probably packaging a course using authoring tools, and probably LMSs and all that. Um, we As I've said before, you can be an instructional designer, and not e-learning developer, but it's more advantageous if you know how to go about it too. And believe me, anybody can do it. So far you've not put your mind to the fact that I can't. If you get me, anybody can pick up these tools and use them. Anybody can do that. So we will work with you, and see where the difficulty is. And as a teacher myself, uh, patiently, we go through the whole process together. And if it's proving to be seriously difficult, I don't think it is. It is not seriously difficult. But if it is, you can go with instructional design. So you can be rest assured that we are in it together. So I hope that's all the questions you asked, and if I've been able to attempt it. Now, the idea of the mentorship also extends to the community. After this whole training, there's a community platform that we are looking at, where we can continue to have monthly interactions, so that we need a community, like she said. most of what we have are, people in the US organizing these communities, these instructional design communities and all that. And it might be difficult to get in. For example, for a teacher who is earning less than $50, to be paying a community, fee of, let's say, $40, $50, per month, you know, it may be difficult. So we are looking at doing something for our African community, but our target is that we want to build a very formidable community of instructional designers who can also give value, at the global space. And one of the reasons why the fee is low, and I'm saying that again, is because of my art, to teachers and the present economic standpoint in Nigeria and in Africa at large. So this, if there is no other questions, this will bring us to the end of this webinar. I will be sharing with us the link to register again. Please, the program is starting July 30. So everyone that is interested, I want to encourage that we reach out ASAP so that we can have your name on the database, we can get to know you, we can get to know how to work with you beyond the training of just coming to the class, just attending to an assignment. We want to meet with you and provide personal guidance on your career or your transition into instructional design. So please go to I will share the link immediately. Go to the link, make payment, and let your name be on our database. Go ahead to register, for the training program. For some of us that came late, the meeting is recorded. I will share the link for this meeting with us. So if there is no other question, I want to say thank you for participating in this webinar. And all right, okay, I mentioned something in passing. I want to say it again, that there is a package that I specifically, because like I mentioned, my art goes to the teachers. We are allowing teachers to pay in installments. So if you want that, please, you also need to reach out to me as soon as possible so that I can put you on that package. You can pay in installments, 2 installments, thereabouts, and you can have access to this program and then every other package that comes with it, the mentorship sessions and all that. So thank you again. I just want to know if you can drop in the chats where you are joining from. If it is Nigeria, let me know the state. Let me know the country you are joining from. I know there are people from South Africa. I got a message from India, even the US and Canada. So let me know where you're coming, where you are joining from, and I'll just stop the recording and